Okay, in this lecture, we're going to be going over how to complete the Chapter 4 group project portion. You'll notice I already have my clean data right over here. Everything from the Unit 1 Week 1 is done, Unit 1 Week 2 is done, Unit 1 Week 3 is done, and now we're going on to Unit 1 Week 4. Unit 1 Week 4. And so for Unit 1, Week 4, all that we're dealing with, you'll notice, is quantitative variables. Quantitative variables. And we are basically dealing with graphic presentations of quantitative variables. So here's what we're going to do. The very first thing that we're going to do, you notice it says formatted in the exact same way as how I set it up for you in Unit 1, Week 2. So go back to Unit 1, Week 2, and you'll notice, okay, you've got it set up where, you do question 1, you complete question 1. Then you do question 2, you've got everything for question 2 in a nice, neat row. Question 3, question 4, question 5, question 6, question 7. The beauty of this week is there's a lot less work to do as there was with last week. This week, I hope it only takes you, no more than a half an hour or so to be able to get this done. So I'm going to copy and paste this, and I'm going to go Control-C, Control-V. We're going to go ahead and get started with this. For 2 of your quantitative variables, notice it only says 2. And it also says take a random selection of 200. And the reason why is we are about to make a stem and leaf plot. Stem and leaf plots, they're okay. Not my favorite. And one of the reasons why is because they really only work well with smaller data sets. Okay, and so that's why I say just take a random sample of 200. I want you to get the practice of doing a data or running a data set. Okay, or making a stem and leaf plot from a data set. So we're going to go back to our clean data, and I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to say, okay, there's 2 sets of data. Which ones are the ones that I'm going to be using? And I think I'm going to use what is the ideal temperature. And the reason why is because there's no decimals. I don't want one with decimals. If I were to do one with decimals, it would be an absolute nightmare. So don't do that. And also try to do one that has 2 digits, like all the way down. It's got 2 digits all the way across. It's going to make your life a lot easier. You can do one that has just 1 digit, but make sure that at least some of them have 2. So like how many minutes are you willing to travel to get fast food? So I'll do, I'll probably do 3 of them. I'm going to do one with year because there's going to be a lot of you all that have year. And I'm going to do what year were you born? I'm going to do... so what year were you born? And then how many minutes are you willing to travel? So I'll do that one. And then I'm also going to do what is the ideal temperature to eat fast food outside. So I'm going to randomly select 200. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to randomly select 200. There's a lot of different ways to do this. Let me see here. So one way that I could do it is I could sort this with the unique response ID, because technically those should be completely random, and I could do A to Z. That's one way. The other way that I can do it is we're going to do insert, okay, and I am going to do equals rand between. Okay, so what this does is this is a random number generator, and I'm going to say give me a number between 1 and, I don't know, 2000. Okay, 1 and 2000, and so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to double click right here, and it puts a random number into every single last one of these. Okay, and then I'm going to sort smallest to largest. So it just sorted it smallest to largest. Now what you'll notice is when you sorted it smallest to largest, you're going to look at it and you're going to be like, oh, but it's not smallest to largest anymore. The reason why is the moment that I say sort smallest to largest, it regenerates all the numbers all over again. And so it did sort them smallest to largest right then, but then it deleted everything. So now what we're going to do, like I said, I want 200. So I'm going to just go ahead and delete this, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. See, every single time that I click, every time it changes all those. And should I go all the way down to 200? Yeah, I'm going to go all the way down to 200, and I'm going to do that by highlighting this. And in the bottom right corner, I'm just going to double click again. Notice it only goes down to where it stops, but if you go right next to where it stops, you notice how all the rest of them are filled in. I'm going to double click again. And it's going to go all the way down to the bottom, but I only care about all the way to 200, okay? And once again, I'm doing this because I like you guys, and I think it's absolutely pointless for me to make you do more than 200, because at that point in time, I'm just asking to frustrate you. So I'm going to, what is the ideal temperature? I'm going to copy these, like I said, all the way to 200. Let's go to 200. So record 200. And I'm going to copy these. Control C. I'm going to go to Unit 1, Week 4. I'm going to press Control V. Okay. And then I'm going to come over here. Once again, I'm going to scroll down to where 200 is, and you'll notice it's right where that ends. And I'm going to copy everything right here. How many minutes are you willing to travel? Control C. And then I'm going to put it right here. Okay. Oh, this isn't the one that I wanted. I'm sorry. I wanted what year were you born, I believe. And the reason why is because what year were you born has the 1990s. So yeah, what year were you born? So I'm going to once again go down to 200. Okay, and I want one with the 1990s. Okay, so what year were you born? So I'm going to copy this, Control C. I'm going to go over here, whoops, Control V. So what year were you born? How many minutes are you willing to travel? And what is the ideal temperature to eat fast food outside? So those are the ones that I've got. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I'm just going to deal with one at a time. So I'm going to move these out of the way. I'm highlighting the second two sets of columns, and I'm going to do Control X, and I'm going to put it over here for now. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all this, and I'm going to say sort smallest to largest. Okay, and you'll notice it's sorted it smallest to largest. This is great. I'm really excited about this. And notice there's 3 blanks, and what you need to do is just put on the side asterisk 3 blanks of 200 records. Okay, so we've got smallest to largest, and so the question is, what is the ideal temperature to eat fast food outside? What is the ideal temperature to eat fast food outside? In order to do this, a stem and leaf plot, what it is you've got a stem and you've got leaves after that stem. So the stem consists of all of the tens places. The leaves consist of all of the ones places. Okay, so I'm going to do 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this represents 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And this right here is the easiest way to make a stem and leaf plot. There's one thing that, you see this right here, 86.3. This is the one thing that messes everything up, but we're not going to worry about that. This is why you don't want decimals, and I'm about to show you why you don't want to do this with decimals. Okay, but I'm going to highlight all of this, all the way down to the bottom, and I'm going to go data. I'm going to pin it again, and I'm going to go text to column, and you can either do delimited or delimited, whatever, or fixed width. So I'm going to click fixed width, and I'm going to go next, and I'm going to say, okay, I want, and it'll let you do, I want you to split it right there, and I want you to split it, and go next, and then just click finish. And so it splits it, and it says, okay, we're going to put all your 5s right here, we're going to leave all your 10s places right there, and we're going to leave all your 1s places right there. And because of the way that we did it, it made it so that it did split off 6.3. But if you do it in a different way, it could possibly only cut off just the 3, and it would have left 86 point, which would have been really annoying. Okay, so let me show you where to go from here. In order to go anywhere from here, I've got to move this out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to insert. I'm going to make this smaller. And I'm going to move this out of the way. I should have, this is just kind of annoying. So I'm going to leave it right there. And so I've got 5, 6, 7, and 8, and I'm going to put the title of the chart right here, Control C, Control V, I'm going to put it right here. And now all of the 5s, all of the values associated with the 5, I'm going to press Control C, or copy. Then I'm going to go over here, I'm going to go to Home, and then where it says Paste, click down, and instead of just pasting it, you know, if I just press Paste, it's going to paste it vertically, okay? But I don't want that. So I'm going to click on there, and I'm going to say, okay, I want you to paste it horizontally. So, or I want you to transpose it. And so it takes all of the values associated with 5, and it transposes it. And so you've got a 5, 0, 5, 6. Okay, one more thing that I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to highlight all of this, and I'm going to put a nice little bar. I'm going to put a bar right there. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger just to make sure that you guys can see it. Line style, I'm going to make it really big, and I'm going to put a bar right there so that way you can see, okay, we've got a 5, and then there's a nice bar right there, and then 0 and 6. So 5, all the 5s are taken care of. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all of the numbers associated with 6. Okay, so I've got, let's see, how many is that? 6, all the ones associated with 6. 41. There are 41 values. Control C. And then I'm going to come right over here, and then I'm going to transpose it again. And so you'll see, if you go all the way over to the right, you're going to see 46 of these. 46. Next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to go down to 7. I'm going to highlight all of these. Okay, down to 7. Control C. And then right here, I'm going to once again just transpose it. And you'll see, let's see here, there's quite a few there too. How many is that? 7. That's 130. 130 records are in 70. And then finally there's 8. So I'm going to do Control C. And then I'm going to paste it, transpose it, and we're about to go and take a look at that in just a minute. And then 9, some people like to eat when it's 98 degrees outside, so 98. And so we've got all this wonderful information. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see how far that goes. Okay, all of these records are going all the way down here, and this is why I told you just take 200. If we would have taken more than 200, this chart would have been absolutely ridiculous. Okay, and that's why one of the reasons why I really don't like this chart. I think it's kind of useless because there's very few times that you're actually just going to be working with only 200 pieces of data. So the way that we read this is that there is one occurrence of 50. Okay, the 5 is the tens place, the 0 is the 100s place. Or sorry, the 5 is the tens place, the 0 is the ones place. So one occurrence of 50, one occurrence of 56. Then we have, let's see, we have 9 occurrences of 60, one occurrence of 63. Let's see, how many occurrences of 65? We've got 20 occurrences of 65, 2 occurrences of 67, and so on and so forth. And if you wanted to, a really easy way to find out which one is the mode, what we can do is we can do equals mode and just highlight. We'll just highlight all the way down to the end. Let's see, highlight, press enter, and you'll notice there's no mode, but we're going to go right here and we're going to drag this down, and you'll notice, okay, 5 is the mode for this row, 0 is the mode for this row, and 0 is the mode for this row. And so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do equals count if, and we want it to count this range. Okay, and we want it to count that range, and we want it to be counted if it's equal to the mode. Okay, so we know that there is 19 occurrences of 65. There are 59 occurrences of 70. And then last but not least, there are 17 occurrences of 80. So what I just did there is I basically said, okay, tell me, this right here, tell me in this row, which number occurs the most often. And it said the number that occurs the most often, the ones place that occurs the most often is 5. In this row, what is the ones place that occurs the most often? It's 0. And in this row, what's the ones place that occurs the most often? It's 0. And so I was able to find the mode right there, and then I did a quick count if function, and I said count if, and I highlighted the entire row, and I said count if it equals this. So that's what I did. So I was able to tell this is the mode. In class, I'll tell a little bit more about what's the mean, so on and so forth. It works really well with smaller data sets. And then also the median, you literally just have to find the middle number, and so on and so forth. But I'm going to go through how to do the rest of these, and we'll go from there. Let's see here. 1990, the year 2000. There's a few different ways that you can do these other things, okay? So we're going to do the exact same thing right here. Okay, we're going to press, oh yeah, I forgot to do this. Control X, we're going to move this right up here. Whenever you have blanks, don't forget to put the blanks. There are 3 blanks of the 200 records. So this is all going together. Done. Okay, so now we're going to start with this next one. Control X, and let's go down here. And then we're going to, once again, sort smallest to largest. Okay, so I've got the smallest to largest. Okay, and there's 1 blank. Okay, so just like what we did before, right up here. So instead of 3 blanks, we're going to put Control C, let's do this, 1 blank. Okay, and then next what we're going to do is we're going to go like this. And then we're going to do data, text to column, fixed width, next. And I'm going to say, okay, I want you to go right there. Okay, and then we're going to finish. Okay, the only problem is when you do this, you see all of these right here? These are actually ones places. So you've got to take all the ones places, highlight all the ones places, press Control X, press 0, or press Control V, and then we're going to put a 0 right here. Okay, so technically there is a 0 for the tens place, and then we've got the ones place right there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, what's the bottom, what is it? 6. Okay, 6 is the last record. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so once again, we're going to make a nice little, let's see, home with the line style. Yep, we're good. So we've got the tens places are right there. Tens, ones. And now we're going to copy the ones, and then we're going to transpose them. And I'm going to do this pretty fast because I already went through it slow up there. Paste, transpose. Go down, all the way down to the end of the ones. Control C. Control V. Whoops. Messed that one up. There we go. Transpose. Then let's go down to where the 2s are. Control C. and then we're going to transpose it again. And there really isn't a faster way to do this. There isn't an automatic way to do this in Excel. It's just kind of a pain, which once again, this is the reason why I'm only having you do 2. And it's also the reason why I'm only having you do it with 200 records. So if you have, like 10 of these, if you have 10 quantitative variables, I only need you to do 2 of them. So 45. There are no 5s, so we're just going to leave it blank there. And then last but not least, for 6, there's a 0, and so we're going to put a 0 right there. And so we've got that. How many minutes are you willing to travel? Control C, Control B. How many minutes are you willing to travel? So we've got that one done. And then last but not least, what year? Okay. We're going to copy all this. Okay, Control C. And then we're going to do Control V. What year were you born? So we're looking at this and we're like, okay, what do we do with this? What do we do with this? We've got 3 digits, right? Well, there's lots of different things that we can do. But we're going to, for some odd reason, it's just not, when I'm doing the screen sharing thing, it's not liking me. So I'm going to highlight those. You can't see it, but it is highlighted. So we're highlighting it, and then we're going to do data, text to column, and we're going to do fixed width. Okay. Now, you really can do anything that you want. You can start it at the, what is that? We got the ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. And we're actually just going to do it just like we have been. Okay. We're going to do it just like this. But before we do this, whoops, I accidentally did it too soon. Why is this a big issue? The reason why this is a big issue is because I can't sort it. We definitely want to sort it first. That was a mistake. So we're going to highlight it. Okay. And then we are going to home, sort, smallest to largest. Okay. And now we'll just highlight those again. Okay. Now we are going to do data, text to column, fixed width, next, and then we're just going to do that right there and click finish. Okay. And so same thing like what we were doing before. We've got Control C, Control V, and then we've also got 2000. Okay, so this one's a little different. So we're going to highlight those. Once again, just go home, and we're going to highlight all of the ones that were born in the 1900s. See here, 1900s, down to there, Control C. Okay, and then let's go right here. We're going to transpose it, paste, transpose, and then scrolling down, and we're going to copy those, Control C, scroll up, and Control, there we go. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it would be to go, let's see here, equals concat. I'm going to combine these together. Don't worry about what I just did, but basically I just recombined them. You don't have to know how to do that. So the next thing that I can do is I can highlight them. Like if you wanted to do it a slightly different way, you can highlight them like that. Okay. And then we can do data, text to column, and fixed width. And instead of doing it in the tens place, you can do it in any one of these. Okay. Just make sure that it's only one. So if we wanted to do it like that, we could do it like that. If we wanted to do it like that, we could do it like that. And then we can click finish. And then instead of 1999 or 1990 right there, what we would put is 19, and then we would put 20. Where this gets a little weird is down here. You'll notice there's just, the zeros, there should be 2 zeros. In order to fix this, I'll show you how to fix that really quick. So let's home. Before I show you how to fix that, I'll just go ahead and copy the 1900s. Okay, Control C. And then I'm going to press Control V and transpose it. And once again, 1995, 1995, 1990, so on and so forth. And then down here, what we have to do is we have to highlight these. Okay. Then there's two ways to do this. But the way, let's see here. Let me see here. Let's go to custom. Okay. We can do number. So we'll do number and then we'll go down to custom and you'll see, okay, we've got a sample type. What we're going to do is put 00 like that. So 00. So click on number first because it's like, okay, we're going to turn it into a number and then come down to custom. And when it comes down to custom, just delete it and press 00. And what it says basically is we want you to display two numbers. Okay. So it changes all of those. Okay. So we're going to press Control C. We're going to go all the way up here, click on this, and then once again transpose it. So that's going to be the end of my lecture for this one, and then I'm going to move on. But before, sorry, let me do something really quick. So I'm going to put what year were you born. We'll put that right there. And then don't forget Control C. We're going to put this, right here. We'll highlight these and we'll make these red. We'll highlight this and make this, I don't know, green. And what you can do, we can just delete this, all 200 records. Or yeah, we'll just delete it. It just makes it way too messy if you try to do anything else. What year were you born? We'll delete all those as well. Okay. And then what we're going to do here, let's do this. We're going to go like this, and we're going to say, okay, we want to delete and shift cells left. Oh, wonderful. You see what that just did? I deleted all the ones that were in front of it and it shifted them left. So if you want everything to move to a particular area, instead of going and copying it all, you can literally just do this. You can go, okay, I want all these cells over here to move to the left by 5. So I'm going to highlight them all the ones that I want gone, and I'm going to say delete, then shift cells left. And so now you'll notice I've got all these. It's great. I'm going to delete this as well. So I've got these wonderful pivot tables, and you can read them, and it's great. So I'm going to end right there. Oops, I forgot to delete a few more. I've got to delete a few more, which you don't have to make 2 of them down here like what I did. I just happened to make 2 of them, so I'm just going to leave them both there. And when we come back in the next lecture, I'm going to do, for the quantitative variables, construct and analyze a box plot. Okay?